is the space. So it's not a massive space, but actually when you empty it of furniture, it feels quite spacious. We've got 2 chest of drawers in the same range, which we do use. So we'll bring those up from the studio space. It's like musical chairs with vintage furniture.
I think we just like moving things as well. I think if you're into homes and interiors and furniture, you're always wanting to reconfigure things.
Oh, here's the coffee. Thanks. We decorated it as a bedroom, so it's kind of got that kind of nice finished look about it, but we're now going to cover it all in thrifts. So a few days ago, we started a really big job here at the house, taking our bedroom from the ground floor to the first floor, which left us with a really cool room that had no use. So I thought I'm going to have that as a studio space for all of our thrifted goodies. So we decided to also move Terry's art space from one room to another. So the next few days involved lots of coffee, lots of thinking, lots of talking, lots of decisions, and lots of up and down the stairs with furniture. So join us on a fun little journey as we create a studio space, an art space, and also a new bedroom. So stay tuned. The results are at the end of the video. So let us know in the comments what you think. We thought we'd bring you along today to see how our minds work when we're having a bit of a change around.
Once we've had a coffee.
Once we've had a coffee, we'll probably just feel a bit more inspired.
Well, it's going to be good because the stuff we've been thrifting has ended up all over the house.
Yeah.
Some in a good way. There's bits and pieces that I really love that we've thrifted. Can't see it on there. I can't one.
This is one. This is definitely one.
And this is one.
And this.
This nice pot for our utensils because we have them in a pot I didn't like.
And this.
Oh yeah, there's lots actually.
In actual fact, there's quite a lot of thrifted stuff around.
But a lot of the other stuff, I'm sure anybody likes thrifting and collecting, you end up with so much stuff and then it becomes like a bit of a clutter rather than an edited look. So we want it all in one space, and really for getting ready for sales and markets and things.
We need to get things washed up, cleaned up, priced up, all of that kind of thing.
And all in one space so you actually know what you've got.
I can spot 3 other things just from here.
Yes.
So yeah, it's all dotted around really, so we feel that we get it all into the studio space, we can actually see what we've got. Okay, so we have a plan of attack. The idea is this space here, which we've kind of used as a dining space, will turn into Terry's art studio. So we need to take this 1960s Urkel plank table and chairs downstairs into my new studio space, and then the art space will move into here because it's nice and light and bright. All of these lights move. So we've had this table for quite a long time, actually, probably about 15 years. It was picked up at an antique fair for not very much money at all. It's not perfect, it needs a little bit of TLC. It actually lived in here while the building work carried on, so it does need a bit of a refinish. But it's just a great size, really useful. We're going to use it in the studio space, so it's great for putting all the stuff on, getting it cleaned and priced. Obviously we've used it for a long time as a dining table, and if you look underneath, this is an Urkel. If you look underneath, you've got the stamp here which gives you kind of some idea of its age, and then these little rivets under here is where you could pop her on a seat cover. So if you wanted to have a comfortable seat pad, because they're maybe not the most comfortable for a whole meal. So that's our first job, is to probably get this table down, which is easier said than done because everything is a little bit awkward and tight. We've got quite narrow doors, the stairs are a bit awkward, so we might have to take it outside and round to the front door and in again, so we'll see. Let's take you through and show you Terry's current art room, soon to be moved onto the landing here. So come on through. This is our bedroom. We just moved into this yesterday. So we're really doing a wholesale kind of reorganise at the moment. So everything's getting moved. This is the art room, which is going to become our dressing room. So we need to bring up our chest of drawers and our clothes and things like that. And we're going to perhaps see if we can thrift like a cool easy chair, maybe 2. So when it's not so sunny on the terrace out here, you can just come in and sit. So this piece is G-Plan Brandon, which again is from the 60s and maybe even the 50s actually. So we've got this and we've got 2 chest of drawers. So this is like a little To be completely honest, it's not the most useful piece of furniture because it's short, it's not very deep, so it's more of a look rather than practical. So we don't actually use it as a wardrobe, but we've got 2 chest of drawers in the same range, which we do use. So we'll bring those up from the studio space. It's like musical chairs with vintage furniture. And this one will go into the studio space because actually it's quite a useful storage piece of furniture with drawers and things. It's got a little mirror that flips up out there, which I'll perhaps show you when we've got it styled up downstairs.
So if you've watched our story video, you will know that this was going to be a B&B space. So this would have been a sitting room that would have gone with a bedroom. But as we've decided not to do that, and we're just following the thrifting adventures now, this now needs to work for us as a home. So that's why we're reconfiguring rooms, moving furniture.
So we managed to get it around this tight little corner, but its final destination, as you can see, is through this quite narrow archway and up 3 steps and round a twist, so wish us luck. This is the space. So it's not a massive space, but actually when you empty it of furniture, it feels quite spacious. We decorated it as a bedroom. Oh, here's the coffee, thanks. We decorated it as a bedroom, so it's kind of got that kind of nice finished look about it, but we're now going to cover it all in thrifts. But I think it's got a nice backdrop, hasn't it, with this kind of seagrass type wallpaper and stuff.
And the neutral colours of the work, so yeah.
And this wall being painted in a very neutral colour just works with anything. So we've got the table in, that was the most awkward piece. So this we're thinking will probably be where we do all of the pricing and cleaning and presenting all the finds to you when we do a haul and things like that. So that's, I suppose, the most important thing. Where does that go? Where's best? So maybe, like if this was here, you could maybe have a couple of chairs. Obviously things hung on the wall, but maybe we've got like a wicker
shelving unit, so that would be quite good.
Is not massive, so we thought that might work, in which we thrifted from a neighbour. So yeah, let's just...
Yeah, it looks nice even just having this in here, and even the light coming through the window onto the table's quite nice.
Yeah.
And just for interest, we found out from one of our neighbours,
oh yeah,
whose auntie used to live here, that this used to be a doorway off the street where they used to walk the donkey in. So this was the donkey stable, and then where there's a sort of beam across here which used to divide, and this was more for chickens and that sort of thing. And this goes through to the kitchen where you saw us making the coffee. And this was actually where the donkey used to be looking through into the kitchen. Can you believe? Amazing. And that was where they fed the donkey here. And they just used to throw the scraps through from the kitchen.
Our neighbour Pedro, whose family have been here forever, showed us lots of these black and white photos with the Spanish women in the streets and the kids playing. And it was really fascinating to see our house and how different it looked years ago. So we'll try and
find a few pics to drop in. Quite interesting.
Anyway, this is not getting this room done. This is by the by.
We always go off on a tangent and lots of rambling, so yeah.
So we'll get this coffee down and then we'll get started.
Tom's got more of a vision of what he wants to do in here.
So I'm thinking, I could sit here like I'm doing a QVC presentation.
Luckily, we had a picture already hanging in here when it was the bedroom.
Totally not level, not level. More to the left. To the left, to the left. So you might remember in Murcia, we picked up this cool Peruvian tapestry, which actually is perfect in this little spot, isn't it? The wall is a little bit lumpy and bumpy, so it doesn't...
So it's like touching that side and miles out this.
But actually, probably with that behind, is quite a nice, as a key, until we sell it, as a key backdrop, that's quite cool, do you think?
Yeah, it's perfect there.
And then maybe we could try the bamboo, because that's the main piece of extra furniture we were thinking, isn't it? So this is the piece that we've thrifted from a neighbour, which is a more modern kind of bamboo unit, but it's in really good condition. And we thrifted it for free. So that's even better. So I was wondering whether that would go, if we just lift it back this way, almost like that. If I sit here and the camera's looking at me like this, it looks interesting as a shot.
Yeah.
And then we could maybe use the Urquhart, the G-Plan wardrobe in the fullness of time could always go there with extra storage in, couldn't it? So
yeah, so that's good. So then
it's almost just putting the pretty things in. Hey! Well, it looks quite colourful and interesting.
it does. That looks nice together. The wood.
We could
We got these other wood
Oh,
bottles.
they could maybe just stack in there, be quite nice. I think we need
How we're going to display it on the
things
shelf.
to like hang them and somehow.
Yeah, I've been thinking about those boards with pegs sticking out.
Yeah, that would be quite cool.
I wonder if I could make one.
Because otherwise they just get in a big old tangle.
And you need them to look nice. So we'll showcase them. So yeah, I'll make another coffee because there's more in the pot.
All these ones with a clasp on, they could kind of hang round a bit.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's good. So I've made the top up of the coffee, and
I was
picking
that up. That's not the coffee.
And to give us some more energy, but it's been quite good. I think it's coming together really well, and the space looks really nice. We've had a few little goes at just looking to see how it looks through the camera, and it creates a really colourful backdrop. So I think all in all, it's going well so far.
Well, I think it's one of those rooms where it needs to work like a room and a practical room, but also needs to look good on the camera for the halls. So you want to make sure it kind of works good from there, and when you walk in the door, and when you're just living in the house, it doesn't just want to look random. So we want it to look nice as well as a room. But it's then just making it look really interesting and lively and also like inspiring. You know, when you come in the morning and think, I like to work in this space, a bit like when we sort your art room area out, you know, you want it to feel creative and
give you some inspiration.
We will no doubt have boxes of things stacked up as well, and you know, as time goes on.
Non-Instagram reality, you know, of having a.
Well, maybe one day we'll show you what's behind the camera.
An insight into that everyone has real life things. I mean, literally, there's still bits of our bedroom there. I'm going to get the camera just in case, and just to show that nobody's life is perfect, and it's easy to get carried away with that idea of showing only the nice bits.
So whilst we're fiddling with jewellery and making it look pretty and everything, this is what's behind the camera. It's just our kind of overflow. We'll call it overflow, shall we?
So we're in the absence of a tripod, because we lost ours and we've got to get a new one. We have a camera that's filming the main thing, gaffer taped to an angle poise lamp, which also didn't want to stand up straight, so we've had to gaffer the bottom so it didn't wobble around. Also, there's a bit of white tack on the foot of one side of this little vintage bedside table, because that didn't want to sit level either.
I love it.
And then, like I say, we are going to actually use this, which we constructed ourselves, like a It's actually lovely. We like it because it's like a bamboo cane sort of hanging. We sort of got these big hooks to go from the beam, and because we really like having your clothes on display actually, that you can actually see rather than wedged into sort of the back of the wardrobe. So some of them have actually gone up to the new bedroom area. But yeah, this will become where we can hang vintage clothes and some of the hangings and things. But yeah, this is just reality, just to show that nobody's life is perfect, because I think everyone can get a little bit despondent with that sort of thing. So yeah, and then we go back.
This is the Instagrammable version. I'm being filmed twice here. I don't know which camera to look at.
Yeah, so Instagrammable.
Instagrammable, that area will be Instagrammable later on today, I think.
Yeah, we'll show it when it's all finished. See what you can do in a day.
So where to put my little pussies? It's just where to put my West German.
Yeah, he's a different era, so it's interesting how he doesn't quite sit with all the stuff. But
so you'll always get the odd thing, like this vase.
We might just go into this somehow.
Doesn't really sit with everything else necessarily, but is a cool mid-century piece
on the table with a
in
couple
itself.
Of vases just
yeah, we could maybe leave it as an interesting thing. So we've got a 1950s, 1960s G-plan kind of wardrobe storage unit type thing, and maybe that would stand there, and that could have some bigger pieces on, some things inside it as well. So we'll see if we get a chance to do that today. And all this IKEA lighting as well. Looks like I'm holding court and I'm saying, right, next. Well, I think lighting is quite a good thing because it's such an easy way of just changing up a space and giving it that mid-century kind of look. These are obviously a bit more modern, but these we picked up
a long
time ago, maybe from Facebook. And we can't find much about them. There's very similar things. We did think at one stage they were probably worth a few £100s each because they were a certain designer, but there's no markings on them, so we're not really sure. But we just thought they're cool anyway, so we have yet to sell those. So this is a cool light that we bought in the UK. And it's had all the finish taken off of it, which is not obviously perhaps how it should be, but we just quite love the patina of it. So we thought that's quite a nice piece. We love this kind of brassy, coppery look. So we'll pop him there for now. But it's nice to see it all here because it was more than we thought, really, I think. There's more thrifted goods than we realised. So it's really clear we need a little bit more furniture in here to store some of this stuff and display it. So we maybe need another shelving unit or something. We'll have to kind of try and thrift something that's practical and cool. So we'll keep an eye out on our future thrift trips. But when you look at it all together, you realise we've got actually loads of stuff. Some really lovely things which you forget about, really. You kind of pop them around your house and forget about them. Because we generally thrift stuff that we like as well. We are always happy to incorporate it into our own space, but then you realise actually at some stage we do need to sell it. So, but yeah, I think it's coming together. I'm just oh yeah, I forgot about the West German lamp base. Okay, we'll just have to pop it all on here for now.
Well, now we've gathered everything up, we realise there's more stuff. I think we've gathered and thrifted more than I thought we had. And
Yeah.
That's not even just other bits of furniture.
This is only what we've thrifted here in Spain as well.
So that's...
We've got a coffee table here as well. We're wicker
And
chairs.
the dressing table, all those
The big
sorts of
orange
things.
plastic IKEA chair we got from Mercia. So there's quite a few big pieces which are not in here yet. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with our little.
Yeah, it's great. And it feels lovely. It's now feeling nice. It's like got a nice cozy look to it. Because as you bring the stuff in, all the sounds muting down as well with the tapestry. And
I think as well, it makes you think how a stall could look with it on. When you see that everything together in a kind of collection, as it were, it kind of makes sense.
That's true.
It makes sense.
This could be our stall. Yeah, it feels. I haven't really thought of it like that.
Well, if we just open this window, and people can just buy through that. So yeah, we'll give this a little rest for now.
A little rest. Look at the upstairs.
Good work so far. So behind me here is the studio space, almost ready to show you, but I just wanted to say we've had a lot of fun creating this studio space, and also Terry's art space upstairs too. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching the video and coming along for the ride. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Maybe you'd have done something differently. Maybe you love it. Maybe you're not so sure. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, it makes a real difference to our channel if you do. And it costs you nothing. It's free. And you get to see all of our latest videos, which, you know, has to be a bonus, doesn't it? We're back very soon with another thrifting video. So don't worry, this is just a little one-off, just for fun. And we'll be back thrifting in the UK very, very soon. We've got some great thrifting spots on the way. We're going to a really enormous antique fair in Newark in the UK, and also we're going to be thrifting the town of Newark. We're going to be heading to Harlow in Essex, which has got, I think, 12 or 13 charity shops. So hopefully in just those first few days we'll have picked up some amazing finds, and we'll take you along for the journey. But in the meantime, take a look at the studio space and see what you think.